All right, welcome to another week of virtual art. So this week we're going to be covering graffiti, and we're going to be looking at graffiti from the frame of mind of, is this an art or is this a crime? So I want you to really take into mind the differences that you see regarding graffiti and how it could be used for a positive thing within a community or a source of vandalism, a source of crime. So I want you to really take a moment to think about that as you're watching this PowerPoint. All right, so what is graffiti? A quick hit for everyone. The graphics on this may be a little bit off due to the PowerPoint being interactive. So when you look at the PowerPoint, it's going to be a little more interactive this time. So I suggest having the PowerPoint up. So during this time, I want you to read what graffiti means. I want you to really understand what the foundation is and where it came from. So take a moment to read the definition. All right, so now that we have an understanding of what graffiti is and where it came from, I want us to take a time to just really discuss this and just have an understanding of what it means. So should graffiti be legal? Also, I want you to ask yourself, is graffiti vandalism? Is it a form of art? So I want you to think about that. Take a second to pause the video and just really think about those two things. All right, so history of graffiti. Graffiti has been something that can be traced back to cave art. And as you can see on the right, these are two different images that depict graffiti and how it was a powerful source of identity, and it allowed people within their communities to talk about things that were relevant to them. So take a moment to read the information on the left so that you have a working knowledge of graffiti throughout history. Okay, so this is just some more early graffiti, and I want you to really take a look on these particular images, and I want you to think about the graffiti that you may see in your community. How do these different forms differ, and how are they the same? So take a second to read the information on the left and think about how the graffiti that we see today is very similar to what we see or what we've seen in history. Good or bad? So graffiti can be a bad thing according to business owners. Many people would be upset to find this on the wall of their business. Graffiti can also be bad for schools. Students have used graffiti to vandalize and to communicate negative feelings towards each other. So I want us to keep that in mind when we're thinking about graffiti if we look at it from a negative lens. Okay, so take a moment just to really digest that and maybe think about a time where you've seen graffiti used in a negative way. Graffiti used for a good way. So graffiti can be used to spread positivity. Some business owners and schools will actually pay an artist to paint on their walls. So the upside is graffiti can be used as an opportunity for people within their communities to express who they are, to just highlight different things that make their community special, and just as a beautiful form of art that can just make their spaces pleasant. Take a second to really digest this. Okay, so graffitis as murals. So these two images show graffiti throughout a community and how they can evoke positive memories. These are particular animals that you may see. These are people taking pictures in front of the graffiti. So it's an opportunity for people to get a positive sense of a space that they're in. Take a couple moments to look at specific details. All right, so mural art program. So these two images basically go into detail about a mural arts program that took place in Philadelphia, and local people within the community had an opportunity to contribute to these graffiti projects. So I definitely understand throughout the country there have been opportunities for artists to share their work with the community and use it as an opportunity to uplift their spaces. So this is another example. You see people creating positive spaces. This particular image was still in Philadelphia, and it gives formerly incarcerated individuals and young people the ability to reconnect with their community. And I think that this is really powerful for people to use their art, their passion as a form of social justice and bettering the spaces that they're a part of.